KW-43, the self-sufficient potato harvest. How many spuds are enough? In 2025, the 6-year crop rotation brought the potatoes to the second worst break in the potager. One of the two that has never been properly double dug and has never really had a massive injection of compost or manure. There is a bed that's potentially worse, and that's next year's break. I think it actually has a road not too far under the surface. So we started the year off in the usual way, improving it with all of last season's compost. The potatoes get the compost, the pumpkins get the pig poo. But the pumpkin break was going to be on the very best soil, so the spuds also got a good dose of Tony, Brunhilda and Marilyn as well. In the last week of April, I planted the seed potatoes maybe a little shallower than normal, and earthed them up more frequently. I, along with the guests and the volunteers this summer, ate all of the first and second earlies straight from the ground. They were mostly pink and delicious. And this is where we take our departure from the standard operating procedure. I've replanted one row. That is, I dug them up in July, ate a bunch of them, and replanted 8 of the best looking tubers right back where they came from. This is the row that I uprooted this week. They were planted 10 weeks later than usual into terrible soil, a large percentage of which has been bricks, lumps of concrete and paving slabs. If you saw my teaser on Instagram, how did I grow so many spuds? The answer is not just a mystery, it defies all potato logic. This week just gone, I also double dug the entire plot, raked it, and I'm going to sow it with some green manure, as yet to be decided. Probably a mix of clover and alfalfa. So how many potatoes do I actually need? The science behind pirate self-sufficiency has up to now been scattergun. I've never really sat down and tried to work out actually how much food you need to survive, to be healthy or to thrive. I know that there was a study from some UN department, which I quote quite a lot, that says a vegan needs about 650 metres squared. And so I just sort of went with that, plus some extra. 6 vegetable plots make up the potager. They are about 100 square metres each, and that seems to be close to the magical 650. On top of that, I have wild sourced food that I enjoy, the soft fruits, about 120 square metres, and the orchard, extremely oversized. Whatever space I fill up with grains, occasional bin diving, and frequent random acts of kindness from neighbours and randos. A touch of confidence and plenty of land, and that always seemed like enough maths for getting on with. I graze heartily from the end of May until the end of October, taking whatever looks good in the garden and doing something with it. From mid-October to May again, I need to fill up the stores. And it is in the filling of the stores that we move from eating delicious, fresh and seasonal veggies to self-sufficiency. A Western person consumes, incredibly roughly, 500 kilos of food per year. The best study I could find was the 15th annual German Nutrition Report, which is, to say the least, dense. I didn't find a specific number in there for annual consumption, but there is enough detail to work it out. According to the study and to my calculator, the average German consumes 489 kilograms a year, if you don't include milk products, and 682 if you do. Yes, you read that right. The average German eats nearly 200 kilograms of cheese, yogurt, quark, cottage cheese, kefir and ice cream per year. But then the average German also has a BMI of 27 and knocks back in excess of 2,800 calories a day. So let's miss out the cheese and reckon on needing about 500 kilos per person per year. 500 kilos per year, and I get my fill for 5 months completely fresh, and need to have in the stores enough for 7 months. Let's call that 300 kilos and see what we have. There's one more row of potatoes to come up, and you definitely don't want to leave them in the ground for too long. As soon as the tops go properly dead, the worms move in and lay their eggs around them. When the baby worm pops out, they start to work on the crop pretty quickly. I already know that this last row is going to be a bumper one as well, but let's be conservative and guesstimate it at 30 kilos. Each of these grocers' trays hold about 20 to 25 kilos of spuds. There are 7 of them. I make that one per month, a grand total of at least 170 kilograms. If we were just interested in calories, a kilo of tatties comes in at about 800 of them. If you fry them, and believe me, I will be frying a good few of them, you can easily bump that up to about 5,000 calories. A kilo of potato wedges a day definitely sounds tempting, and might in part explain that year that I put on 15 kilograms over winter. That was a strange one. I went to bed reasonably svelte and woke up fat. In summary then, devote 100 square metres of your plot to potatoes, keep improving the ground, and grow them with love and plenty of mulch, and you will have enough for you and all your guests all summer and autumn, and plenty for the long cold winter as well. Definitely sufficient for one person, and probably two. Of course, not even I can leave my potatoes alone, and next week we shall have a look at what is in the rest of the stores. Until then, please try to keep a dose of humour and sanity in these increasingly weird and upsetting times. Be excellent to each other, bake lots, it cheers the soul like very little else I know, and go and take someone a cake. Your loving Pirate Ben. XO, XO.